from your perspective, what are the main causes of food price volatility?
Well, I think the volatility that we've seen over the since 2005 clearly has been tied very closely to the level of world stocks relative to use. That we've seen a drawdown of stocks largely because of increased demand. Increased demand has come out for due to a number of causes. We've had good income growth in a lot of the developing world. We see areas like China, which are producing more meat, which means importing more grain and oil seeds for production. And then the other thing is the increase of biofuel production. All of that's meant increased, very strong demand. And on the other hand, we've had a lot of variability in production. The U.S. this year has suffered from a very large drought, extensive drought that's had big effect on oilseed and corn production. Former Soviet Union, the Black Sea region, has been hurt, and Southern Europe a lot by hot weather and drought that has affected wheat production and coarse grain production.
So what were the main consequences for especially the poor consumers and people like us? We get along, but...
Well, that's right. If you look at FAO and others have price indices that show that prices were hit record levels, at least in nominal terms. Those are commodity prices, and so if you look at how that translates to food prices, if you, in a developed country, of course, because the farm level, or the percent of the ultimate consumer price that's the farm level price is pretty small, and so their food price inflation has gone up in Europe, has gone up in the US a little bit, but for a country that imports a lot of it, or needs, say, a Middle Eastern or North African country that imports a lot of wheat, and if the price transmission, we say as economists, if that transmission is full, then they'll have seen a lot of variation in those prices. Higher prices, obviously, with a household where food expenditures may be 50 to 60% or higher. That means a burden. Now, in a lot of countries, the price effects actually have been fairly muted because they're either, depending on imports, they may see consumer subsidies that have helped them moderate that. But that's the concern, of course, is how it affects local populations.
So this workshop is about the impact of food price volatility on food security. So what do you think are the main steps and measures that should be taken to improve the situation?
Well, I think there's a short-run answer and a long-run answer. And I think the short-run answer is to the degree that we can to improve transparency in prices. And there's an effort that's being led by the G20, this so-called Agricultural Market Information System, AMIS, is designed to improve information on basic variables like production and stocks around the world. And I think if we can get better figures there, that will help consumers and producers make better planning decisions. In the long run, I think the bigger issues are how to improve productivity. And there we see in productivity levels have been flat or in some areas declining. I think if you look at certain areas, we really need to improve yields relative to the yield potential that they have. And there, I think, so improving productivity, I think, is really the key in the long run.
Thank you very much for the
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.